Business Paper 2 Marks Breakup, Crazy IGCSE. Welcome back to Crazy IGCSE. For those of you who are new to my channel, hi, this is Crazy IGCSE, where you can study 7 IGCSE subjects including business, economics, accounts, biology, physics, English as second language, maths, tips, paper structures, and solve past papers. So here's IGCSE at your fingertips. Please do subscribe and like the video. So for 8 mark question here it says explain 2 reasons why it is important to Bethany to identify changes in customer preferences. So here you have to give 2 reasons, which will be reason 1 and reason 2. Now for each of those reasons we have to include this breakup. So first we have to include the knowledge, then we have to give 2 applications and 1 analysis, and you have to apply your answer from the case study which has been given, and it should be relating to your knowledge point which you have included in the beginning in your reason part. After that you have to analyze everything. So example, this is to identify changes in customer preference and we need to know its importance. So first it's to remain competitive. So for that you have to, that will be your knowledge point to remain competitive. Then you apply to application points from the case study, and then for your analysis you have to analyze and explain why it is necessary to remain competitive. Like this breakup we do for the reason 2 as well. So this applies for each part. Then for a 12-mark question, here it says state the advantages and disadvantages of the following 3 ways to achieve good quality service at the health spa. So they have already given you the 3 ways, and we have to state each of the advantage and the disadvantage for each of them. So the first way is to only employ highly trained workers, to record all customer complaints, and to buy only the best quality materials to use in the health spa. So for each of these points, so for example, only employ highly trained workers. For this part, first we have to give its advantage. So first you state your point, you state your advantage, and that will come under knowledge. After that, apply your answer to the case study, and that will complete your application point. Then analyze and explain how employing highly trained workers will achieve good quality service at the health spa. This you can also further analyze and explain your answer. After that, you can also include the disadvantage with the same structure. First will be a knowledge, application, and analysis, and then you have to try. And if your lines which have been given are not complete, you can again add some of your advantage or disadvantage. So you need to make sure you always cover all the lines, or else you may not get full marks. And you cannot exceed the lines too much as well. There's a certain amount it can be exceeded. So make sure you try and write in all the spaces provided. So this we do for each of the point, for the employing highly trained workers, for advantage and for disadvantage, and the same goes for the remaining 2 points. So now here it says explain 2 possible reasons why Bethany wants the business to remain small. So first example, you say to make all her decisions. So to make all her decisions, for reason 1 will be the knowledge. After that you have to provide application point from the case study after reading the case study. Here I don't have the case study, so once you look at the case study and then you understand it and then apply it, it will complete your application point, and then you will analyze it, explaining why Bethany will want to remain small, and you need to explain that she can make decisions on her own as she will not have many partners or something like that, and you can just explain your answer until you've covered all your lines. And the same goes to the reason 2, which might be any of the reasons from here. Then for the 12-mark question, again, it's explain 3 factors. Explain why the 3 factors are important to Bethany when choosing a business partner. So here they have not told you advantage and disadvantage, but they have told you consider the 3 factors. So the first factor is knowledge of new technology, experience in managing a health spa, and capital to invest. So for this, you have to again put 1 point of knowledge, then one application 1, application 2, and then your analysis. And then you can further do your analysis part. You can also further analyze, and you have to make sure you do that for the disadvantage part, as they have not clearly told you that you have to provide the advantage and you have to provide the disadvantage. So you don't have to, you can't think that you don't have to provide advantage and disadvantage, because for these 12 mark questions you always have to provide an advantage and a disadvantage. So first you explain how knowledge of a new technology. So here are some answers, sample answers for these questions. So the first one was why the business will remain small. So the reason one has been provided, which is owner's preference, which is a knowledge point, and then you have to apply an application point. So you have applied that she's been a sole trader since 10 years, then you can analyze it. So she'll find it more convenient and comfortable to stay small, and you can further analyze it by telling it it's easier to control, manage, and coordinate the spa activities. In addition, she'll prefer to run a business with less legal controls. Then, reason two is the knowledge point. Then here it says if Bethany wants to get into partnerships, she will have to share the profit. So instead, she can remain as a sole trader, as she'll be the sole owner and will keep the whole profit she makes and can earn more than she will when having a business partner, than and that will motivate her. So this is an 8 mark question. Uh, it's got a 7 mark. So the maximum you can get is like 7 or 8. So if you've got a 7 also in your answer, it is good, because that's like almost like the maximum you can get. Although if your answer is much, much better, you can also score an 8 mark. Then here about the 3 factors which are important for Bethany when choosing a business partner. Here this answer has got 11 on 12, which is like the maximum you can get. So here knowledge of new technology. So here you have told that there are many activities provided by the health spa, which is an application. So there should be latest equipment, and the partner should be aware about the new technologies. So there'll be less costs due to the efficiency, and also Bethany. And then you have written this part is the advantage. Now here you have written the disadvantage, because here you said Bethany will feel less important, which will lower the self-esteem and demotivate her. So that is the disadvantage. So you're giving an advantage and a disadvantage. Then experience in managing a health spa. So the partner should be aware about the spa and how to manage the activities and provide quality service. And that will ensure that the spa will run successfully. And here after you've given a disadvantage, that they may have arguments and conflicts, as that will cause inefficiency, and there may be dishonesty as well, which will again cause conflicts. Then capital to invest. So here, if there is increased capital, they will be able to invest in the latest health spa equipment for the different activities. So here again, it is an application, because there have been several different activities which have been stated in the case study, and that this student has spoken about it. So it's an application point. Then there will be more capital to cover up the leasing of equipment costs. Then again, you have given a disadvantage, although excess of inventory will cause inefficiency and will cause extra costs of insurance and storage for the business. Now, your conclusion, which is also the recommendation, for this part, you have to give a strong point of example. You have chosen knowledge of new technology. So if you've chosen that, or here the student has chosen amount of capital is the most important factor. So for that you have to compare why it is better, more important than the other factors. That will give you more marks for your recommendation and conclusion. Also um, your point should be very strong, so it should be a very strong advantage of why you have chosen that as more important. So here the student has written the amount of capital is most important factor. So as consumers are interested to try the latest equipment which has been stated in the case study, and they will need high amounts of capital to satisfy the consumer's wants, and that will lead to more profit and success. And it is more important than knowledge of technology. So here again, the student has mentioned about a comparison with the other 2 points. So it is more important than knowledge of technology, as if there is only if there is capital, there will be knowledge of the technology. Then explain two reasons why it's important to better need to identify changes in customer preferences. So this is a knowledge point. Then this, if they identify the changes like changing into the latest equipment, it will add value to their business and it will increase the number of services as consumers will find it trendy to use that spa. To use that spa is again an application point, and there'll be increased revenue. Then reason two is also the same. Now for this point, and this answer has also got 7 out of 8. Then for this, the advantage and disadvantage, it has clearly been stated the advantage and the disadvantage for each, and there's a strong conclusion point, and this answer has got 11 out of 12. So this is the end of our video. Thank you for watching. I hope this helped you for